Here's a video request from one of my YouTube viewers who has a gripe with some of you cheapskates, and realistically, I feel his pain. On another subject, I thought you might talk about labor pricing. As you know, I'm a self-employed carpenter, 30 years in the business. I give estimates to people, and sometimes they have no problem with the number. Other times they do. Lots of time they just shop, they're just shopping prices. Anyways, it chaps my blank that some people think that you'll do a job for pennies. Sometimes you just got to move on to the next one and get paid, right? You're absolutely right there. Talk about that to us carpenters, contractors. Thanks again. You know what? I could dish out story after story of how many problems I had with people and how many great jobs that just everything went perfectly, you know, and I feel your pain. That is realistically all I can say to that. There is a reason why I stopped contracting, and hopefully I don't ever have to do it again, and of course this is one of them. Like I said, I feel your pain. Going over to people's houses that give you the impression they want to have some work done, and then when you give them a price, they act like you just shot someone they love. It's just, you know, it's a never-ending nightmare, and trust me, I think the last conversation I had was with a woman who wanted a repair, a stucco repair done, and she wanted a small hole. First of all, she says, I've got a hole in my house that needs to be fixed. Well, by the time I was done, and I'm not kidding, by the time I was done talking to this lady, she said it was about the size of a dime, a hole in her stucco. And then I asked her, I says, well, why don't you just put a little bit of cement in it or put some caulking in it and don't worry about it? She goes, oh no. She says, I want it fixed and I want it to match perfectly. So I just threw out a ridiculous price to her, and she goes, I'm not paying that. And I says, I don't blame you. I said, but you just told me you wanted it to look perfect. I said, and I might not be able to make it look perfect. What if it's off just a little bit, and I got to take it apart and do it 10 times before you're happy? You know, this is the reality of our business. Now, the people I feel sorry for are the people that get suckered into this stuff and end up going over to this lady's house and give her a bid for $75 because they think that all she wants is you to put a little caulking in there. And you end up working on this job for 2 weeks, and finally you quit, and you just don't want to, hey, keep your 15 cents. I'm not interested in it. So yes, I feel your pain. God, that's just one story. It just brings back, I've got this shower of like an information overload of crap to, you know, warning, do not get back into the business here. Stay out. And of course, I'm not suggesting that you do that, but it is something that I don't look forward to if I ever do need to get back into this trade again. There is one bit of advice I would like to give you, and that would be to create a fixed price. Don't try and read people. You know, don't work for one person and charge them $100 an hour and work for someone else and work for $20 an hour. That usually doesn't work out well. What I would suggest is you get a fixed price, something you're happy with, and work from that price. That way other people in the community will start to say, you know what, this person is fair, or this person does quality work, whatever it is you're seeking. There are different markets out there. You are going to be dealing with the cheap. Hey, they just don't have the money. You're going to be dealing with the cheap people who've got the money, they just don't want to pay it. You're going to be dealing with people who just want to get the job done. You're going to be dealing with people who don't really care how much it's going to cost, but they want it to look pristine. You know, you can develop a niche within those communities if there's enough people in your area. Another thing is, and of course this is important, don't let your emotions take over. You know, a lot of people reason with emotions, and you can't do that in business. If you give someone a price for $500 and they say, hey, I can get my cousin to do it for $150. Okay, this is your opportunity to get the hell out of there. Lose these people and focus on people who are willing to work within your price range. You know, so the minute someone tells you something like, don't take it emotionally. Don't, oh God, that, you know, I do quality work and I will not work for anything less. Hey, there is no reason why you need to justify your prices or your actions. Hey, I am going to use good wood. I'm going to use better products and I do high quality work. Waste of your time. If you really feel like you need to throw it in there, knock yourself out. But I found that's a waste. Give them a price and don't take it personally. You know, don't, hey, it's going to cost you $500. Hey, I wouldn't pay $500 if you were the last contractor on earth. Okay, I'm not the last contractor on earth. See you later, you know. And you know what irks me is I've even had times where I've given people prices and they get mad at me and I leave and they're furious because I'm not responding to them emotionally. They get mad at me, I get mad at them, they call me a name, I call them a name. Hey, it's business. And that's another thing you need to remember is it is business. You're in a business to make a profit. If someone tells you that you're charging too much money, but you don't have any health insurance for your family, you can barely pay your bills, you've got a problem. You need to charge more money. And you need to lose the clientele you're working for and try and move up the ladder to get into an arena, you know, with people who actually are willing to pay out a couple more bucks. And trust me, I actually made a conscious choice, and I want to say it was about 2001, that I was going to raise my prices. And for those of you who remember, 2001 was not a boom year. This was going into the tank here. And but it wasn't a bad, I don't want to say it was a horrible year, but I actually got to the point where I was working less, charging more, and making more money. I was happier. This was the life I wanted. I didn't want to be working for peanuts anymore. So again, don't take anything personally in business. Someone tells you something, you have a fixed rate, a flat rate, a fixed prices, whatever, and flat rates. It's not going to be hard for you to figure this stuff out. You know, it's going to take me 5 hours and $100 in materials. This is how much I charge by the hour. Here's my price. If you do it in 4 hours, hey, you deserve that extra hour as a bonus, you know. But don't take it personally. Don't let it bother you. Don't get mad at these people. There are going to be people out there that are looking for the cheapest price, you know, possible. And if you're not it, let them find someone else. Like I call it, send them back into the ocean of whatever it is, however you want to. I can't use the word on TV. You could fill it in yourself and have a pretty good idea what I'm referring to. But send them back into that ocean and adios, my friend. And please don't call me again. Try to throw that one. I can't tell you how many times someone has called me again after I asked them not to. I says, hey, you guys, I understand. You know, I had one woman, I'm not kidding you. She called me 3 times. Every time I put an ad in the paper or the local news circular, she'd call me up. And she wanted, you know, hey, can I get you a price? She had a building, and I'm not kidding, it was about a 5-story building where I don't know what happened, but half the back wall on the 5-story building, it actually fell off and it was gone. Someone hauled it off. They hadn't replaced it. First time I went out there, I gave her a price and she goes, oh my God, that's ridiculous. Second time she called me on the phone, I started to talk to her. She sounded familiar. I only talked to her about 6 months ago. And I go, are you this, you know? Yes, I am, you know. And I go, you've already called me, you know. I says, I'm not interested in there. Next time it happened, I told her, hey, can you write my phone number down? I said, just don't call it again. If I put my ad in a circular, but this is what we deal with in the construction business. You're going to deal with people like that. And again, try to look at it from their perspective. That really will make a lot of difference. If you're working, if you're looking at someone who doesn't have a lot of money and they can't afford these home repairs in the first place, it's going to put them in a financial bind. You might not even be doing them a favor by fixing it in the first place. They might need to figure out how to fix it themselves or deal with it a different way. So again, different prospects, different people, they're not going to be the same. No situation realistically happens over and over again. You don't get to duplicate all these clients that are wonderful, and thank God you don't have to deal with duplications of the ones that are miserable. I hope that helps, and if it does, keep watching my videos. You guys have any ideas or comments, I would love to hear from you. I will try to make a video or answer your request in a timely manner.